Well, let's go to a team that I'm not high on, the Green Bay Packers. Also 9.5, juiced a little bit more to the under at minus 140. Division plus 190, conference 10-1, Super Bowl 20-1. Aaron Rodgers, most passing yards plus 650. Devontae Adams, most receiving yards plus 1,600. Are they overrated? Matt LaFleur era begins. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, but they lack depth at playmaking positions. What happens if Devontae Adams gets hurt? Green Bay's backfield finished 24th in total receptions last season, and the unit's 17% target share was well below league average. Aaron Jones comes into camp in great shape. They need him to be a monster. Jimmy Graham had just 2 TDs last season. Their defense ranked 10th in the NFC last season. Looks to have improved. First-round pick Rashawn Gary could be very good outside linebacker. They had a strong draft, but I don't want much to do with these Green Bay Packers, at least at this point. Donnie Rightside, the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Green Bay Packers, I mean, anytime you have Aaron Rodgers, and it looks like, Ted Thompson used to get a lot of respect there in Green Bay. Man, look at they keep it within, they draft from within, they don't get free agents. Well, it's like the Tom Brady rule in New England. As long as you have that guy at the helm, you're gonna have a competitive team, regardless if you whiff after whiff after whiff on your draft picks. But now we're taking a look at Aaron Rodgers getting a little bit older. It's about him being healthy, and it's not to say that the Green Bay Packers won't have a good offensive line. They were really banged up on the offensive line last year, and you saw from game one, maybe that knee injury from Aaron Rodgers was a lot worse than what was actually led on. But let's not forget, it's about the foes that you're playing. If you're just playing in a vacuum, oh man, having Aaron Rodgers, doesn't matter who has it wide out, doesn't matter who has it running back, he's going to make it work. But now you're seeing a first-year head coach come in after, McCarthy leaves last year on unceremonious terms. Now you hear a little bit of rumblings in, preseason play, like, hey, I don't know if this coach has it, or they're going back and forth. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, not the easiest guy to get along with, but let's not forget who he's going up against here. You have a nasty defense in Minnesota that's already put Aaron Rodgers out for the year one time. You have a nasty defense in Chicago that almost put Rodgers out for the year last year. You have an up-and-coming defense in Detroit. They are going to be coming after him loaded for bear during those division games. And Aaron Rodgers shows a little bit of chips, a little bit of chinks. That offense, that team is nowhere without Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to put them third on the pedestal here in the NFC North here, behind the Minnesota Vikings and behind the Bears, because I don't trust this roster anymore, Jimmy. I don't see the explosiveness. You're right. They have one wide receiver. If he gets banged up, who are we going to here? They're facing nasty defenses in a much better division than most of the NFL has. I see a downturn here because let's not hide the facts here with the Packers. 5-year win trend, 12 wins. 10, 7, 6. This team isn't getting better. It's getting worse.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that breakdown. Whale Capper, are we being too hard on these Green Bay Packers?
We're going to learn we're going to get an answer to a question that has been asked a lot over the last year, which is, how good is Aaron Rodgers still as a quarterback? Is he the guy that put up some absolutely impossibly good numbers, or has he fundamentally, regressed in terms of his potential, his performance? Because as Aaron Rodgers goes, so the Green Bay Packers go this season. And there's very few teams in the league where you can make more true of a statement of it's kind of all down to one player. If we break down Aaron Rodgers and his play over the last couple of years, granted, ton of Donnie nailed it. Ton of it influenced by a couple of wild injuries. You can't necessarily predict that stuff. Broken collarbones, torn knees, things like that, are part of playing the position. And then when you have an offensive line that's getting up there in age and can't necessarily protect you, you got to be worried about that stuff. But look at some of the performance that he put up late in the season. He was doing some things that you don't like to see out of a quarterback who you think of as sort of the top-tier quarterback. He's gotten, in my opinion, he's got a problem with risk aversion. And I'll describe what that means. You look at his stats and you're like, well, the guy never throws a pick, right? Well, guess what? If you're not ahead in games, you have to take chances. You have to be risky. If you're playing a team that's better than you on the road, if you're at Foxborough playing Tom Brady and the Patriots, in week 8, 9, you can't play a conservative game plan and expect to come back in that game. You have to be aggressive. And Aaron Rodgers is showing a kind of a pattern now. He's establishing this pattern of not taking chances down the field because he doesn't want to, be known. He doesn't want to create the turnover. He loves looking at that 0 on the stat sheet, and he just, can't get over that hump in terms of, look, there are times in the game where you have to be more aggressive. And so rather than take passes that would be there in the 11 to 15 yard range, which would move the chains. Instead, he's throwing it down the field 30, 40 yards. His receivers aren't getting open because they aren't as talented. He's shrugging like, hey, man, I'm throwing the ball down. My guys can't catch it. Like, all of this is all of these things kind of mixed together into this perception that he's not a team guy, that he can't work with these guys. You throw a new quarterback, new coach in there, Matt LaFleur, who has risen faster than we've seen anyone rise. And granted, I was cold on the Sean McVay hire 2 years ago by the Rams, and he has wildly exceeded my expectations. Okay, Matt LaFleur could do that as well, but we didn't see anything about the way he coordinated the Tennessee Titans offense last year that suggests he's coming in this year and he's going to light the world on fire with Aaron Rodgers. There are cracks, there are problems, and there is a lot for this team to prove if they expect to contend for the NFC North title, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree, and I very much disliked a lot of LaFleur's decisions over the last couple of years. I thought he had weapons that weren't being used, Corey Davis being one of them. Okay.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.